Who else coming tonight?
Jim, Larry, possibly Jim,
You might
Pete.
need any water from around the house.
Good, thanks.
See, that's not recording, is it?
It is right now, yeah.
So go ahead and cut it off for executive session.
Well, we gotta go into open.
We gotta go
before
into
we
open
go-
session.
before we go into
Well, I
executive.
understand that, but I don't
So let's
wanna-
go ahead and then I'll turn it off.
Okay,
So let's open the meeting. And then we'll go into executive.
all right, so, let's do roll call.
Emil. Chance.
Steve.
Dirk.
And Donna. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is talk about, the board positions. So that's not really executive session.
Okay.
So, so we all need to decide what we wanna do, who wants to take what role. We don't really need the rain gardens up right now. So Derek, are you good staying secretary?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And Chance, are you wanting to, go to another position?
I'm indifferent. I can tell you, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be president. I think that is far more time and effort than I'm willing to put in. So I would settle for VP or staying a member at large. It's basically all I want to do. So those are the options.
Okay. Emil?
I can stay at vice president. I would probably prefer switching with Chance and becoming member at large.
Okay. All right, so Steve, the reason that I asked these guys first is because they were on the,
Are you 2 hours, 2 L's, 2 hours?
2 hours, 2 hours.
2 hours, 2 L's, okay.
Yep.
so the reason I asked these guys first is because they're already on the board and have a position. So, what were you thinking about, Steve?
It really doesn't, quite frankly, the titles and the positions, quite frankly, for what we're doing here are really, really not relevant, but, they are what they are. The value add is whatever the value add is. So it doesn't really matter to me. Whatever I bring is what I bring. So it doesn't really matter. Well, I'm assuming there's no treasurer anymore, or is there going to be a
Well, there
treasurer?
still will be a treasurer because.
So what capacity is the treasurer going to run, since the functions of the treasurer are not going to be in the capacity?
So
of the
basically, you'll
board?
report from Army, and they'll report things to you, and or not you, but whoever the treasurer is. Sorry, but anytime there's money, like we have money that needs to be deposited into the account. I'm still working with Army on that, but she did tell me to go ahead and put it into the account that we have now. So
At some point, we'll need to put it into Army's account because
yeah.
we're closing our account.
right, so we need to figure that out, but that's not there yet. But there's not a whole lot other than reporting to the board is what the treasurer position would do
Yeah,
from Army. Okay.
I think it ends up being more of like a strategic kind of like position. I don't know. That's
Well, I mean, there's only three options. So it's either president, vice president, or treasurer.
Right.
That's it.
Or a member at large.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. I think it's a member at large is a good fit for Chance. The time that he has to allocate to it is, I think, works for him.
Okay, so
Between the
let's.
three of us, between the three of us, we have the most experience with what's going on in here. So, there are your options.
So let's look at it this way. So I don't mind taking the president role again. I will probably not run in 2020, just because of everything that has transpired. But things could get better. But with the state of the community, and so that's kind of not. This is more executive session, but. If it would be best that I'm not president, if the board collectively thinks that it would be best for the community that I'm not the face, even though everyone here has just as much say as I do. It's just the administrative piece of it. If collectively you guys think that that's the best choice, I am more than happy to take another role, because I don't have to be president. I have no ego, and it has nothing, like you said, Steve.
Yeah.
It's a title.
Everybody is, all it is are just the duties involved in doing whatever it is that you're doing. That's it. There's nobody, it doesn't put anybody in any different position than anybody else. That's it.
So what do you guys think
I'm ambivalent.
about, do you think that I should step down as the face? Because the president is who gets attacked,
I think you should.
okay?
And that is purely because there's been a lot thrown at you this past year. Merit or not is not what the debate is. It's true. You have been the face of the board, and you catch a lot of flack, and I don't think that has always been fair. So I think that if you weren't president, then it might ease some tension with some members of the community. But that's like I said, that's not a. I don't think you should step down because you didn't do a good job. I think you should do it because you were being attacked.
Okay.
I think you've been an excellent president. I think you've done a superb job. However, if I were you, I'd want to step down. And I would encourage you to step down, just because of all the crap you've had to put up with. But if you're willing to take it, go right ahead. I do not want to be president. And I'd like to minimize my role because I've been doing this forever, and I don't want to do this anymore. I didn't even really want to do the last
This
3
time,
years,
yeah.
but I did it because I thought it was, to help out. So I'm not going to run again in 2020. That's a definite. And if the board, finds someone who can take my role before that, I'll step down. But, so I don't want to be president. Tonight I'm prepared to do the treasurer role. I could do that, but I'd like to hand it off. It'd be better if I handed it off to someone else because I, wouldn't do it next year. So
Okay.
But that's just me.
Okay, so it leaves with basically, you don't want to be president, period.
I think it takes too much time. I mean, I'm managing 2 very large projects at work that take up an incredible amount of my time, both at work and at home. So I think that I would not be able to do it justice because I couldn't keep up with, some of the administrative tasks, and I would feel like I was, kind of being derelict in my duty. So I just don't think it's, not right now, not a good fit.
Okay. And Derek, do you have any interest of being president?
No. I'm kind of in the same boat right now with my work schedule too, and so that's why I like the secretary position. That okay, I got to try to keep typing on my skills, but I can manage that and get that back and everything. So I think I'm a good fit there.
Okay. So then and how do you feel about stepping back as for the
For you,
face?
you talking
Yeah.
about? Oh, I think that's purely your decision.
Okay.
I guess I don't feel either way. I think I agree with what Emil said. I would be surprised if you wanted to continue, but I don't. It doesn't bother me either way. I mean, like Chance Emil said, you did. You had a tough year, so I could understand if you wanted to step back.
Yeah.
If you want to continue forward, it doesn't bother me either way. So yeah.
So Steve,
Can I make a suggestion?
So can I ask you,
Sure.
like I have? So I wanted to get your take on the community. If I'm still on the board, and I know that there are still some people that don't want me on the board, but do you think that it'll help bring? Because that's my goal. I really want to bring the community together. And do you think that would help bring the community together if I step back?
Okay.
And then that means you're going to be president.
Okay, so here's the problem. I have a similar problem, although maybe not as severe as Derek and Chance. My schedule, although maybe a little more flexible, is not going to afford me. It's going to be problematic to operate administratively the way I would need to operate as the president. Isn't to say that I couldn't do it, but to have just come in and won an election under the circumstances that just evolved and took place, I don't know that that would be a particularly efficient way or a particularly good way to do that. So my suggestion that I was going to throw out there would be to kind of attack this from the approach of having a couple people at least render some support for you in this capacity. If you stayed as president, to just kind of help you along with that. If that's something that you want to do. If it's been too much difficulty for you, I get it. I understand. But that's something you're going to have to decide. But I don't know. I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to function as president and allocate the amount of time that I need to allocate in order to do it.
I think we're
That's
all.
not-
I think
that's
we're all
not-
in that boat.
Well, and I would agree. So that being said, that's not to say that I couldn't help, and I couldn't fulfill a lot of the roles associated with doing it. But the entire ensemble, it's going to be impossible, or it's not going to be doable.
So then what's the solution when a homeowner emails and specifically says, Donna, comma, you did this XYZ, when it was a board kind of decision, right? Like that is something that and you're aware, it has happened over the last years. Things have been directed 100% at her when it's not always, things are board decisions, right? Like, so, I think it's rough to ask somebody to stay in that position knowing that there has been, increased kind of finger to the chest. I mean, it's not necessarily so much about the splitting of the duties, right? Like, the president could offload some of the position to the vice president, which has traditionally been kind of, just kind of there to support in general. But like I said, I don't know. That's kind of what I see it as. Is it's it's more of less of a workload thing for Donna and more of a not being the face of the BOD anymore, because that specific position is getting a lot of scrutiny.
Well, there's no question as to whether or not you're a target.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well,
I'm not interested-
any president's going to be the target,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
that's what it's been in the past.
I'm not so much interested in winding back the clock right now as I am. I'm specifically talking about the duties associated with functioning as the president. The specific duties associated with operating as president. There's specific things that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be functioning as that are going to be problematic for me. That would be problematic for you, problematic for Derek or whoever. That's in particular what I'm talking about. As far as the target and what Donna has been the recipient of in the past. I mean, we can get into all of that. I don't really right now. Do we really want to go back and start?
No,
getting into all that stuff?
no. I'm not saying we need to
At
get
this
into it. But
But-
what I'm saying, I'm not saying we need to get into it.
Yeah.
What I mean is though, I think you can't have one that it can't be like, oh well, we need someone that will draft agendas and write emails and manage the general inbox, the Green Gables inbox, and be the person of record and be or the what's the word, whatever. you know, all these things that do fall into the line of duty for the president. But you can't just say it's just about that going forward, because if that's the case, then, you know,
Well, it is a little bit, and I'm hoping with some of the things that we're gonna talk about tonight, that some of that stuff is gonna get kind of transitioned into a environment that's what it's gonna be about, as opposed to a far more, hopefully a far more efficient and less, kind of non-productive environment that we're having to contend with and deal with right now. And hopefully with some input from everybody that we'll be able to navigate our way through some of that stuff. I don't want to belabor it right now, but. You know,
All right,
we'll see
yeah,
what-
we're
let's see
gonna
what
have to,
happens.
we're gonna have to decide, because we're spending, I didn't think it was gonna take this long. I thought it was already kind of decided, but, and not that I'm saying anyone had discussed, I'm just saying that, because I was gonna step down, okay? That was my plan, because I think it's the right thing to do. But, I mean, if no one else is gonna take that role, I
So
guess.
let's just hypothetically say there's only 4 board members, or, I mean, how many do we absolutely have to have?
3.
3, okay? So there's a president, vice president.
Yeah, but somebody's going to have to be president, and none of you guys want to be president.
Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again.
So, Emil, you know, we could just leave now.
Well, I mean, you could, you know,
Yeah.
then it would be on the 3 of us to.
We're not going to
you know,
do
pick-
that.
Pick,
We've got. I've made a commitment. I'm going to be here for my last year, so I made that commitment, and that wouldn't be fair to any of you. I mean, I know you've been on the board before, but that wouldn't be fair to everybody else. So we're going to have to decide. So
Okay, well, do those board positions have to be decided
yes,
immediately?
yes.
Well, we need
And-
we
and
need a
what-
president to be the spokesman, and we need a secretary to do the secretary things, and we need a treasurer to handle that. So we need those 3
It's the
decided.
very first board meeting. You have to decide who
Yeah,
what roles.
we really have to.
So, so Steve, what if you're president and I support you?
Whatever, it's fine. Okay.
I mean, what does people think about that?
well, I mean, the same thing you're proposing applies to you as well, right?
I
If you
mean,
think,
what-
if you,
that's-
but I'm just saying, no, if you think that, you know, some of the stuff we're going to discuss tonight is going to make it easier on whoever is president, then that would in turn make that easier on you as well.
I don't, that's, I mean, I don't,
I mean, we are a board. We are here to support each other, right?
That's
So
right.
I mean, yeah, you know, I have thought for the last year that things need to be divided better. I think that the things were, you know, they were weighted differently. You know, some people were taking on more than they needed to, and I think that was, you know, so
Agreed.
maybe that's the solution, right? We work harder to be equitable, right? Split everything up a little more, you know, evenly, so one board member is not being.
We try that every year.
I know. I'm sure I'm not introducing a new idea. I'm just saying, like, maybe won't we try one more time? Right? What's the definition of insanity?
So we need to vote. We need to either Steve can be president or I can be president, whatever the board wants. So I need to. If you're okay with that.
you all are gonna vote, so.
I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah, you have to be comfortable with whatever position is, or I mean, I don't think we just force you to do something. It's not exactly.
You are now voluntold.
Yeah.
That's exactly
I
right.
don't think we're getting voluntold here, but it's just,
I have no problem handing that over to somebody else.
I don't know.
I mean, you guys. I mean, it's up to you.
Well, how about, so I don't mind, again, doing secretary. I mean, is that good with everybody?
Yes.
And then what,
Fine by me.
Chance, what were you thinking for yourself? Did you like member at large, or did you want to do something else? What were your thoughts?
I think member at large and VP, ironically, it boiled down to doing basically the exact same thing.
Okay.
Basically, they're kind of, you know, member at large and winds up being
Duties
a,
as assigned.
yeah, essentially, yeah, it winds up
Yeah.
being duties assigned. Member at large winds up being like kind of the liaison between maintenance and ARB and whatever else, and VP kind of ends up being the liaison between,
Yeah.
presidential administrative duties.
And then do you like the idea though of being treasurer in the sense that you've been on the finance committee now and you can kind of
I could
get
do
that, whatever this transition is with Army, you can kind of spearhead that.
I'm willing to do that. But like I said, this is only for 1 year. Yeah.
Well, it's
But I'm
it's a
willing to
good
do that.
1 year position though.
Right,
It is a
because-
good
because
year.
you have the
'Cause
background
it'll-
on the
and it'll-
committee now, yeah.
Because eventually, Army's going to handle just about everything. So
Yeah,
Well, an Army actually will take over the whole board for another $250. The most would be $250 a month, just to totally do everything. Be a full management company.
250 in addition.
Yeah, so another $3,000 a year.
and so then
Something
really
we
it comes down
It's
to,
something we should think about in the future.
and it really comes down to vice president then and
So
member at large,
one-
right?
well,
who wants to
yeah,
do
or
those?
one's president, one's vice president, or
So let's think about this, because typically the president is working hand in hand with the VP normally that's the flow, but it's never been the board's flow. You hand off to the VP is what you normally do. And that VP is doing basically everything, or knows what the president's doing. You know what I'm saying? So that whenever they transition off, then that person just steps in. But we've never done that.
All right, well then, let me, all right, I'll do the president.
Okay?
You want off the board, correct?
over time, yeah.
Okay, well, what is that time frame for you?
Could be today.
Okay. If we can find somebody that wants to replace you, would you be willing to resign your position?
If you find someone that is agreeable to everyone, I would be willing to step down.
Clearly, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna bring somebody in that.
Right.
nobody
Someone that
wants-
can work with the
nobody
group.
wants. That nobody wants on the board.
Right. I'd be willing to step down. I have
Okay.
done this far
Okay.
longer than I want to.
Okay. And what about? And you wanna continue through?
I made a commitment.
Okay.
And I made a commitment also, I'm willing to stay on, but
Okay.
if we find somebody,
All right.
I'm willing to step down.
Okay.
Okay?
All
So is everyone okay? Harold, president?
I'm good with it.
That's fine.
Okay? And then, then that leaves you and I. So either you'll be VP and I'll be member at large. Or if you want to flip and I'll do treasurer, you be member at large and you be VP.
I'm happy to take. I'll be VP. That's fine.
Okay? Okay?
Do you want to do treasurer?
I'll do treasurer.
I'll be member at large.
Okay? So let me hand this agenda over to you. That's why I put it as, do you have one?
Sorry.
I have one.
That's why I put it as president. So congratulations, everybody. And thank you for all you do. All right, so Steve, I did send over some emails to you kind of late. And if you don't mind, let's go ahead and turn off that camera, because we are definitely going to go into executive session. So Steve, if you don't mind, we're gonna probably have to help you through this piece, okay?